I used to think that if I want to focus for long hours, I got to create time to-do lists, set an 8-hour matrix, and start believing that the 10-minute rule will help me to work and get results. And over the past 3 years, I've been experimenting with almost every productivity method you can think of. I've watched all of this content about productivity, but only 0.1% of it is truly changed my life until I implement the true principles that build my focus. And now I love working longer hours. I don't procrastinate and I enjoy what I'm doing. So I want to give a quick reminder to you. It's not about the method in this video that will increase your focus, but truly it's about how you implement these principles and how you apply it to your habits so that your habits can actually boost your focus and productivity. And let's dive into the video. People tell you that you need to read a book rather than just scrolling on social media. You've got to go to the gym rather than just sitting there watching Netflix. All of these are true because it's what most people believe is true. But if you think deeply, there's no such thing as a good habit and a bad habit. Your brain doesn't actually see it that way. You start believing that you only need good habits to start focused and being productive. That's partially true, but you need to realize that habits are neutral. It's just how your brain responds to them. If your brain thinks one habit releases more dopamine than another, it's natural for your brain to prefer that one because you crave that dopamine release. You know that bad habits are bad because they make your life harder in the long run. It's not because they're objectively good or bad. Your brain only cares whether a habit releases dopamine. If it does, your brain will want to do it more in the future. So habits are neutral. Your brain cannot tell the difference between good and bad habits. You are the one who knows that good habits will bring long-term fulfillment in your life, while bad habits bring chaos and long-term suffering. So let's start with the first habit, focus work. Work overall is do something that bring results. In the past, we used to do manual labor to help the advancement of society. But because of the internet and technology, we do less manual work and we do more of the mental work. And this is why productivity and focus are skills you need to develop. Because if you want to bring more results, you need to do work that is effective. And the only work that will bring you results and fulfillment is focus work. So focus work is a type of work where you are in a flow state. So this is a peak of focus where you don't get distracted. All you do is just do one thing at a time. And that work is challenging enough that you become the work itself. This is what productive people do every day. They do focus work because it is something meaningful and fulfilling. So I want you to visualize this. You can imagine a person sitting in a skyscraper office doing spreadsheets while scrolling on social media. You can also imagine a person sitting in a room with a coffee, writing content online without distraction. Focus work is all you need to increase your focus and productivity. So if you get distracted easily, this will train your brain to stay still and focus on one thing at a time. Your brain is not used to do it, so this is something new for you. But if you make focused work as your habit, you will do it every single day. And suddenly, it is something that is easy because you practice it every single day. And months from now, it will become a part of your life. If you struggle with ADHD or low attention span, this is what will fix you. You don't need medication or a therapist to fix this problem. You just need to invest your time and focus. So I want you to just start with 1 hour of focused work every single day for the next 30 days. So basically you sit there in your room working on the project without any distractions, without your phone, without social media. You just sit there, stay still for just 1 hour. So this is the challenge for you for the next 30 days. This is the easiest thing you can do right now to develop your focus and become more productive. There's no specific method to do it. You just need to sit there in your room and basically just start working. Focus work is the only work you need to do to get results and find fulfillment. And now, let's move to the next habit, weightlifting. So I've been lifting weight for 3 years now, and all I can say to you is that lifting weights is pretty much the same as working on your business. If you're good at focus and always challenge yourself every single day with more intensity and effort, then going to the gym, lifting some weights, and gradually increase the intensity every single day is something you will find fulfilling. So this is the truth. not everyone who goes to the gym has figured it all. And that is why when you see people in the gym training for years, but they're still skinny and fat because they don't apply the principle that they need to challenge themselves harder every single day. In every domain of life, you got to make sure that you're making improvement. You don't just do the same thing over and over again. And weightlifting requires patience and hard work. So here's the actionable step. Find a gym, get a 12-month membership right away, and start educating yourself about the optimal way to build muscles, nutrition, and the best way to do exercise. Even people who've been lifting weights for 10 years straight, they don't figure everything out. It's not about how long you've been doing something, it's about how much improvement you've made and how much knowledge you gain from it. You know, in productivity, if you want to make more results, you've got to increase the effort and intensity of your work every single day. This basically is the same thing in weightlifting. You want to increase the weights every week, learn deeply about the principles of muscle building, find the workouts that's challenging enough, and you will see improvement in years. If you can build your mind by doing focused work, you can build your body by doing weightlifting. You can do both and still have a good day and even better life. Because it's useless if you're smart but you're not strong physically. You want to have both, not just to make people respect you more, but because you want a healthy body and mind. So keep in mind that you need to train your body and mind, improve your mind, build your muscles. If you achieve both, you're unstoppable. Now let's move to the third habit, self-education. So the moment you graduate from school, this is the moment you start learning about life. Most people stop learning after graduation. That's why their life is stagnant, working for 40 years in a job they hate. So I started my online business at the age of 12. I sold video games items to my friends. Then I discovered the online marketplace. That's when I hit my first $1,000 at the age of 60. And I achieved this milestone because I prioritized self-education. I consume business content on YouTube. I started learning about content creation. I read philosophy and the Bible. I started becoming a wise person because traditional education made you believe that education is all about memorizing and take an exam. Self-education is the path for humans to develop knowledge and skills and be ready to dive into the unknown. Because there are no exams or even memorizing things. The true test is how you use the knowledge and skills in real life. You don't learn, memorize, take an exam, and get good grades. You experience problems in life, you fail, you learn from your mistakes. And when the problems come again in the future, you know exactly what you need to do. Because the internet is the place to share information. You share your lessons on how to solve specific problems that people find helpful, and you can start your business and make money from it. The internet removes the gap between information, successful people, and currency. People who know how to use the internet can get them all. Because the internet has given you the opportunity to watch this video, you can start to implement the lessons you get from this content. Then you can share them to others who need the solution because you've already fixed the problem. So if you can watch content and implement it in your real life and your problem solved because of it, you can share the solution to other people. All of this because you self-educate yourself. Because no one cares if you can solve calculus. People care if you can make them more money or solve the biggest problems they have in their life. You need self-education to leverage that information for the people who need it. You start learning daily about a specific problem you've solved. You learn how you can distribute the information to social media. At the end of the day, people get their problem solved and you get rewarded with currency. So keep this in mind. Self-education is a lifelong journey. You don't stop learning after you fix your problems. You share the solution with other people and solve even bigger problems. So let's move to the fourth habit, thinking. So I spend at least 1 hour a day reflecting on the work that I've done and the progress I've made over the past few days. And I use ChatGPT to reflect on my thoughts and the plan for my future. Most people don't really use artificial intelligence to leverage their minds. That's why you need to start doing it because information is now everywhere. You need to grab it quickly and find the best information possible because it is impossible for you to read every single blog post on the internet. You need artificial intelligence to scrap the information online and get the best of the best information. You can start by dedicating 1 hour a day to thinking about your future. You can start asking ChatGPT to help you make sense of everything. So I personally use ChatGPT because I've saved a lot of memory to the database. You can use basically every single large language models out there. The point I want to make here is that you need to use AI to think. So this is exactly the prompt I use. Be my future self who has achieved everything I want, the ideal lifestyle, the people I want to be with, the amount of income I need per month, and the car and houses I have. Be my future self who has experienced setbacks, solved the money game, and has no financial problems at all. Be wise and be objective. Then ask this question: what are the things I need to do to make my ideal life a reality? Give me the contrarian perspective on everything I'm doing. What are the things I need to improve that I'm not even aware of? You can use the same prompt to ask about your life purpose, your mission, or even the next content you want to make. The point is to use the tools available so you can gain clarity on what to do next. You can reflect on yourself and know exactly what problems need to be fixed, and you can use it for free, and everyone has access to it. But remember, the gems are not in the tool, they are in how you use the tool to find those gems. So this is what you need to start doing if you feel lost in this journey. It's better to gain clarity than to feel lost and hopeless. It's crucial to dedicate 1 hour every day or at least every single week to see the bigger picture, where you're going and whether everything you're doing is aligned with the goals you want to achieve. You can easily get stuck living in the future or in the past, but the present moment is where you revise your plan and make the best decision every single time. The problem with focus and productivity is that you don't need to do these 10 different habits, 10 different productivity tips and tricks. It's actually better for you to just have one good habit and do it for years than maintaining 10 habits, feeling burnt out, and come back to your old habits after. You don't need to do these 4 habits I told you. Even if you just do one, it's better. Productivity is about doing less and make more results. It will make your life chaos if you're trying to do everything. Your time is limited. You only have 24 hours in the day. It's how you use that 24 hours to be productive. So doing less habits is better. So I've experienced thousands of failures before. And one piece of advice that I can give you is that if you experience setbacks and failures, just don't stop putting the work. It doesn't matter how small it is, because your work is the only way to move your life. You don't skip even one day until you achieve the ideal life you want to achieve. And this is why I don't skip making content even just 1 week, because I know where I am going, because I want to make my goals become reality. Even if I'm too lazy to make content, I use the time educate myself and watching my old content. I always think on how can I improve it every day. So don't skip one day. So it's useless if you just do 4 habits I told you in this video. If you don't truly implement the core principles, it's like wanting to build a house. You think about the decoration and what looks good without considering how to make sure the foundation stays solid for decades. That's exactly what you need to do first. Build the foundation, then start the habits. So I've been doing these 4 habits for 2 years now, and I see huge results in my health. I've become more sharper and more energized throughout the day. In wealth, I started making money because my productivity increased. In relationships, I surround myself with people who do the same habits. If you're serious to take this to the next level so that you can transform your focus and productivity, I have a one-on-one program that will teach you 5 principles. This is how I explain in detail about habits, routines, and productivity. Paulo and Sekaf, students inside my program, have transformed their life forever. They have fixed their problems with focus and productivity, and they're now making money online as the product of following the 5 principles I teach inside the program. Enjoy now, click the first link in the description below. If you want my 10 lessons about business and self-improvement since I was 12 years old, you can grab it now, link in the description below. This is how I build the foundation of habits so that I can become more productive. And enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.